up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. And again, I can't say it enough how energizing it is with the type of heroes that we have coming on our show. And it just gets better and better. And that's what it's all about, unlocking the secrets of our heroes, those that create companies, build entertainers, and so much more. Later on in the show, we've got, are you ready for this? One of the most recognized names in the state of Arizona, Barry Goldwater Jr., former U.S. congressman. And then we'll be doing later on in the show, the founder and CEO of Direct Source Wealth, Tara Golden, who's going to share with us some amazing stories of how we can really get more time, freedom, and build wealth. Thank you, too, for the feedback we continue to get from having the founder of TiVo and CNBC on. So make sure you go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com. Well, we have with us today someone who everyone's heard of, the company that he helped start. If you've ever rented a movie at Walmart or anywhere else, those boxes that are out there, well, he created the company that was sold to McDonald's that became what we know of today of Redbox. And we have with us Biju Kulathakal. So Biju, who is now doing Halo Investing, so make sure you go to haloinvesting.com. Biju, how did you create this company, get a movie, then you sell it to McDonald's? Where did all this idea come from?
So the idea, thanks so much first, David, for having me on the show. The idea came from one of my co-founders and friends who I went to college with, and we were discussing this one day, and he started working on it, and he needed some help. So we saw this sort of technology in other countries. We saw this in Europe, and we saw this in Asia. But we didn't really see this in the U.S. in a big way, and we wanted to do something different with that. We thought, this would be a cheaper way to deliver movies to everybody in America. So that's sort of how we started with Get a Movie. We built up the technology. McDonald's actually was first our partner. We actually sold the company to Coinstar, which is now called Outer Wall, but that's that used to be a public company in the United States. But McDonald's really was our main partner and helped make this very successful and big in this country.
And how did you go about, getting their attention? I mean, it's clearly a gigantic, enormous company to be able to get on their radar.
Yeah, that's a really interesting story. So when we first started Get a Movie, we thought our natural partners for this would be companies in the movie business like Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, Movie Gallery. These were the big rental giants at that time. And we approached all of them, but the problem with sometimes being in one industry is it's hard to see, it's hard to really see and recognize disruptive change in that industry, and that was a problem we were running into with the existing giants like Blockbuster. What was interesting was McDonald's was trying another automated venture of their own, which had nothing to do with movies initially, and they were trying little pilots of this. And being in the same town, we got connected because Chicago is a big place, but it's also a small place, and so we got connected to them. They were working on this venture, and they had come up with a brand name, Redbox. Our company was called Get a Movie. We started talking to them, and I think maybe it took us about a year to come up with a deal where we really got them excited about us and this venture, and we did a partnership, we did a pilot, and from there it really took off.
That's incredible. And a year in process in the making. I mean, you must just smile because, Redbox is just everywhere. When you see one of these, you must just grin and go, you know what? That was mine. That was my idea with my co-founder.
Absolutely, and
So
that's really the biggest reward. That's the biggest reward from doing these companies is that it's not so much the money you make, but the impact you have. The best reward you can have from being an entrepreneur, doing a startup, is seeing your product being used by people. And Redbox is a concept that's been used by more than half of America, or maybe 60 or 70% of America, and seeing a product with that sort of impact really brings a lot of satisfaction to me. So,
excellent. And you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, because we have Biju Kulathakal, who can be reached at HaloInvesting.com. He is the one that along with his co-founder, created the company, which now became Redbox. So let's talk about what you're doing now with Halo Investing and how it's making investing simpler and safer for all. And again, make sure you go to HaloInvesting.com. Biju, take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much, David. So I was looking with my co-founder at this market called Structured Notes. We found this product that was available only to the very rich, both in the United States and around the world. And the very rich were basically using this to participate in the stock market. So basically, instead of buying the S&P 500 or buying shares in Microsoft or Apple, they were buying this product called a structured note, and getting the upside in these companies and getting protected on the downside. And we thought, this sort of protection and the payoffs that these products generated should be available to everybody, not just to the very rich. So that's what really got us started on wanting to build a platform to take this to everybody. We started the company about 2.5 years ago, and now we've connected to a lot of the major banks in the United States, but also around the world. The great thing about Halo is it's a global platform. About half of our business comes from outside the U.S., and we are in every major continent. So we are in the United States. We're in a few countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, and now also going to Latin America. But what we do is connect large banks to financial advisors who serve everybody. So serve the average person. These are the advisors at the Schwabs, the Charles Schwabs, the Fidelities, the TD Ameritrades, and they use our platform to basically buy these structured notes for their end client, which is people like you and me.
I mean, you went a completely different shift of what you were doing before to this. How was that? I mean, how did you do that? It's a totally different industry.
It is a completely different industry, and at the end of the day, I'm really, I have a background. I have a little bit of background in finance, and I don't really care what industry I'm in. I really care more about. I like bringing efficiency and transparency to different markets, and at the end of the day, you always see different problems around you, and you see if I see something that's done inefficiently, it always kind of bothers me. So I always want to make things more efficient. So, and I think, and this is not the last company I will do. I'll do many more after this, and it's the same theme basically. If I see inefficiency and if I see a lack of transparency somewhere, I want to change that. So it didn't really matter to me that Redbox was in movies and this is in finance. These are all different aspects of people's lives where we can bring these efficiencies and change to. So that's really what I do. At the end of the day, I think starting a company is not really about just solving problems. It's actually about chasing an opportunity. And so we saw an opportunity to make something more efficient, and we decided to follow that.
Well, I got to tell you, I can't wait to see how this comes to be. Make sure you go to haloinvesting.com. Biju, you created a wave in the movie rental business and continue to create new pathways for companies and ways to invest in your clients. Biju, Kulathakal, you're a hero. Make sure you go to haloinvesting.com.